let's continue. So apparently I made a mistake I like to do, that is not changing the microphone after plugging in or plugging out. So the first 40 minutes were completely mute, which is also kind of a problem regarding the fact that we also had some battles and nobody's going to watch 40 minutes of video without any commenting. And this time I didn't even switch on, no, it wouldn't have changed it if I had switched in recording manually. So which means that I'm gonna not upload the first part of it. There didn't happen too much there. The war with Russia started pretty early, and we've won one cruiser battle, we lost one and lost two of our modern light cruisers, but in total we are winning currently. In the last battle we sunk a light carrier, but so far nothing decisive has happened yet, so in that regard you haven't missed too much. I haven't done any significant decisions in regards of shipbuilding, so you haven't missed anything there yet either, which I guess is of benefit. Oh, and that's actually the first air attack on my ships in this game. So let's hope they'll be fine. Are they getting hit? Fire, okay. Yeah, no hit, no bombs hit, there it is. So yeah, what you can hear in the background, that is, I need to apologize. Unfortunately, there's some work on a neighboring apartment, and I hope it'll stop, because most of the time so far you didn't hear anything. I hope it's not now when the microphone is finally activated, they are going crazy with the work. Yeah. It almost sounds like it. If so, I'll have to cancel it. I'll have to stop streaming rather soon, but they're stopping it again. Okay, let's check those ships. 6 15-inch guns, that's good caliber but weak, low number. Armor is decent but inferior. Armor more inferior and not as strong main armament either. So let's go to full speed and kill them. Need to be careful not to be torpedoed, but apart from that, my ships are vastly superior. Even though they have been hit a couple of times now. I don't think, yeah, I mean, if you see here, 4.5-inch, 12-inch, and 9 16-inch guns. So that shouldn't be a big issue. And we see there's a lot of hits on them. Just slugging it out with them now. And the first one is falling out. Perfect. We are going to close in to kill it. And keep pressure on the other ones. They are now trying to dodge. It's probably torpedo bombers, which I don't even have yet, and I have no clue why those idiotic scientists I have aren't even able to copy something the others have for a decade now. Okay, that one is stopping. So can you guys shoot another one? Like this one here? Does he have torpedoes? He probably has 2 submerged. That shouldn't be the big issue. So let's hope they can take that one out as well, and then we can charge after the third one. Do they shoot him? I don't see hits on the southern one. And I think those red lines mean who's shooting whom. So only one of them was shooting them. But it's slowing. It's basically dead in the water as well. Okay, so let's focus on that other one. which is running away. And there comes a torpedo attack, I guess. What is his damage? I guess a turret. Oh, it's even destroyed. Okay. Been lucky that it hasn't blown up there. It's not that likely unless you're British, though. And that's a torpedo hit. Okay. But once more, rather low damage. They were built with torpedo defense 2. So the damage they're taking from torpedoes is not too high. It's not that I could ignore it. Wait, does he have? No, he only has center line. I was checking whether he has like starboard and port, whether he has wing torpedo tubes. In that case, going on another side might have allowed him to launch another salvo, but this way it's rather unlikely. Okay, that is going. So my destroyers, I guess, are wasting their torpedoes on wrecked ships now, as they like to do. And we are going to try to kill that archipelago, while the other two wrecks are being continued being hit. And here we see it, another bombardment. I should, if possible, go for that as well. And the archipelago is taking significant damage now and thus slowing down. So we'll have her soon. And that's it. Okay. We can now go, we could go for that light cruiser. How many tons? 5,900. Do we have enough time left? We actually do, so let's go for that one. What is the Otto doing? Is he still flooding? Flooding might have increased, but not by far. But what I might do, there are destroyers, I guess. Question, should I? No, you know what, let's go back, kill that transport, reduce speed so the Otto doesn't take unnecessary damage and flooding, and let's kill the bombardment target and that freighter and call it a day. With three battle cruisers sunk, it's not that big of an issue. It's a big win already. You've missed me talking for 40 minutes on a microphone that wasn't connected. So basically the highlight I'm going to do, what I'll show others afterwards, where the stream has begun, is a year after the last one ended, because unfortunately I forgot to check whether the microphone is properly connected. You didn't miss that much though. So the war with Russia started almost immediately from the last episode, and since then we had one cruiser battle where I sunk an enemy cruiser without losses, one where I lost 2 of my modern ones against 2 of their old ones, which was a loss in that regard. So they won that battle. Then another battle where I was able to sink a light carrier without losses, and this is the 4th significant battle. And unless the Otto, the flooding is increasing, but it's now down to 10 knots, so I hopefully should be fine. Unless I lose one of those, which would be really bad, this will be a resounding victory, as I've sunk 3 of the enemy battlecruisers so far without any significant losses on my side. But that's it, what happened so far. No new shipbuilding. The submarines have finally been finished. Some modernization of old destroyers to make them better against submarines, but basically not much. Okay. And I'm still furious why my stupid scientists are incapable of developing torpedo bombers, as everyone else seems to have them except me. I have 4 heavy carriers being about to be completed, but my guys are incapable of even putting any ship on them that can do damage. So I don't think I can. Oh, there's more battle cruisers. Okay. Oh, so I guess I should check on the auto. Flooding is still going up, I think. So let's detach her. The other 2 should easily be able to handle those guys. Attach. Go to 10 knots. Let's just hope there isn't an airstrike on that one though, because that would be uncomfortable. You guys go to max speed and hunt those guys down. But yeah, 40 minutes and I wondered why people were showing up in the stream and not saying anything and not leaving for long, which is rather uncommon, but it's quite understandable if they just see what's happening here without anybody saying anything. And I don't even play music to avoid copyright infringement. And so yeah. Okay, that is another Apostolov. No, that's an earlier design, 1908. That's a complete garbage ship. What was that, 12, 13 inch guns? 13 inch. That Chesma is another bad design, rather old as well. Okay. Well, let's help the Russians modernize their fleet, I guess, by helping them get rid of ancient, antiquated ships. Why is Arnulf der Böse so damaged? Oh, both turrets incapable of firing right now. Jammed or something. At least they can be repaired. They haven't blown up. Now you guys can go for the torpedo attack, because he's still alive. Well, he won't be after this. Yes, he's been hit. Okay, let's go. You guys go after the Chesma. And then the victory will be even bigger. And I hope that I finally get an invasion into the Baltics. I'm all running low though. But he's still pretty fast. Some decent hits on his engines would help. Yeah, but he's being hit. No, that's the other one. That's the crippled one that's being constantly hit. Now I have some hits on her. Yeah, Chesma. Let me check. Still 25 knots. Damage here. Okay, now he has 1 blown up. And he's taking flooding damage. A lot of hits. I think I'm going to detach him as well. Arnulf der Böse. Down to 10 knots. And you go south. While it's now up to Otto the Third to take care of the Chesma. Okay, this one is fine. He is probably fine as well. Yep. Probably should go further away to make sure he doesn't run into some destroyers at night, short range while being slow. That would be rather uncomfortable. He is like one rear turret blown up and a forward turret disabled. Probably the armor on the turrets is still far too low, even though it's 14 and a half inch, but I guess from this distance as I'm fighting here, that's too close. What is with him? Can I see? He only has 1 front turret lost, but the other ones are still operational. That is frustrating. I have no idea why he is capable of killing my turrets, whereas I am not. Or not as well. Chesma, He's only shooting secondaries. The other turret seems to be out of ammo. Yeah. Aft 3 disabled. Yep, completely out of ammo. Be nice if the destroyers were at least able to kill him. Chesma still has ammo. Why? Ah, okay, those guys were fighting other battle cruisers first, but that is a little too much damage. Oh my god. Run, you fools. Yeah. Ah, nice. They got a torpedo hit. Now please charge him down. They do. Nice. Maybe I'm lucky. Don't you have torpedoes left? They do. Okay, so I need to take manual control. You go up here. And you go up here. Full speed, yep. Okay. Can you torpedo or is it friendly in? Okay, out of arc. Everything's out of arc. Okay. You go a little like this and you go a little up here. Okay, that was already a torpedo launch. Maybe you can do another one. I always like to use the wing torpedoes first when I do it manually. Okay. Now that should be fine. I don't think he can survive all those torpedo hits. Yep, that's it. Okay. So you guys can go back to AI control. No need to control you manually. And you are going east. And now we hope for the battle to end as fast as possible. I think I'm actually going to send them all to combine again. And another torpedo hit, yeah. So the Chesma is definitely going down as well. Good. Unless I'm losing one of those battle cruisers now, which... Wait. I don't think they can make it to port going this slow. That would be an option to send them into port to make sure they survive. Especially as the Russians have a lot of submarines and I might have the random event of one of the submarines torpedoing them. But unless I fail at that point, they should all survive. He's also going just 9 knots, that's perfect. Go up to 10. And then you meet somewhere here. So the destroyer screen is complete. Can we go faster? We can. Perfect. Sights and unknown ship. That is something in this phase which I don't want to see. Okay, that's probably just a transport. It was rather slow. Why can't I take manual control here? No idea. You can. Okay, I want you to investigate at full speed. Wait, he's 22 knots top speed, so he's heavily damaged already. That guy has 30 and he has torpedoes left. Okay, you guy, full speed in that direction. Find out what was there. There it is. It's rather slow, so either a damaged ship or just a freighter. And a freighter would be nice because it gives additional points. Well, let's see what he finds. If he identifies it, well, it's getting daylight again. So, how about you identify that guy? Still incapable of identifying it? Transport, okay. And he's already sunk. Perfect. Battleships closing in towards each other. You go down to 8 knots. So the other battleship Arnold der Böse doesn't accelerate too fast to get back into formation. There is something here. Okay. But with the battleships combined, I hope I'll be able to fend off everyone who can cause problems. Sights an unknown ship. Okay. Still a lot of ships here. That one is decently fast. Yeah, it's a destroyer. Okay. I think I need to probably change course a little. Make sure, in case he had torpedoes left and they have range, I don't know. I'd rather be safe than sorry here. Can you guys? Yes, they have reattached, so let's slow down a little to allow them to get back into formation, which they are. And now let's go to 9 knots and just move somewhere here towards Scotland. And just wait until the scenario ends. But I said, if I'm not losing one of the battle cruisers now in the end of the battle, maybe through mine or submarine, then it's an absolutely resounding victory. And even if I were to lose one, it would still be considered a victory, but my ships, those ships aren't that easy to replace, so I obviously want to keep them if I can. And they were really expensive. Okay, what time is it? Oh, it's closing in on the 1100. We already have 1,000 minutes played now. Good. Okay. Perfect. So I didn't lose anyone except for 2 DDs. 5 battle cruisers in battle, all of them sunk. That is a difference in damage. 416,000 damage to 80,000. And I even picked up some survivors. Perfect. Very nice result. 2 victory point, 2 prestige. Okay. Good. How many do they even have left now? 2 battle cruisers in service. 2 building and maybe some, yeah, 2 building. Yeah, 1 is in refit. 1 is being modernized, obviously. But nothing, not much left here. So please give me an invasion into the Baltics. That would be nice now. I have surplus. Let's check. Can I finally build? Oh, not lighter than air. Why isn't there any progress? I don't get that. Oh, yeah, and I can go to medium here. I can also go to medium here, I think. 18-inch, it would be nice to have better ones, but it doesn't seem worth it now. Fleet tactics, what else could I turn down? I don't really want to decrease anything here now. Machinery development could be reduced, but no, let's just leave it like this. But I hope that I'll at some point finally will be able to get torpedo bombers, because right now this is really frustrating. Yeah, not known at present. Indeed. That was quite. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the Russian admiral after this battle. And we see it. Japan has torpedo bombers, Russia, US, France, Italy, Great Britain. Is there anyone left who hasn't? Nope. Every one of them has torpedo bombers except me. And I have no idea why. But yeah. So I'll have to concentrate on surface warfare for now. voice radio, that's nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, who cares about some corvettes? And I wonder why my submarines are this ineffective. I mean, I have a shit ton. I already lost 10 of them. They hardly sink anything, despite being at unrestricted warfare. Weird. And it escapes again. Yeah, the battle cruisers are too slow, I guess, to hunt down the enemy radars. Which means I should either use more modern ones, which I could. They barely have any left. So yeah, we can actually put that one to trade protection and that one probably too. Black Prince, yeah, thought about that. I hope that hammering isn't too loud. Unfortunately, somebody's working on the working next to in another apartment next to me. I was thinking to name a ship after Friedrich Karl von Preußen, so the Red Prince. That was actually planned already. I have a lot of names I thought about naming the ships later. Because as you can see here, there is some I started. I didn't do it initially, but now the first ones really have really nice names, and you see here the new carriers also getting better names. And let's just leave it like this. Okay, no, we want to crush them. Ah, come on. Yeah, and I can't even get a single thing. Fucking politicians. Why do they always end the war so early? Shouldn't they leave war to the soldiers, how it's supposed to be, right? Okay, so nothing I can do here now. Let's mothball everything. Nope, no Bismarck yet. We mothball everything we can. And those are being put into reserve fleet. And we could probably mothball that 3 guys, because they are becoming rather useless. If I don't have too much mothballed by now. Should check. I mean, the thing is, the ship is too slow. 13-inch guns are rather weak. At least they have a decent setup with those 4 guns here. Yeah, Moltke is on my list. Helmut von Moltke, the older one, who I want to name, and Bismarck, and like Leopold II, or Wilhelm Dietrich von Buddenbrock, Nikolaus Graf Palfy von Erdöd, something like that. Graf von Holzappel, Blücher obviously, Zieten, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I have a lot of names left to give. So yeah, let's go back to this here. We can modernize, obviously, increased elevation and advanced director, which wouldn't hurt. Giving it new engines would be possible. I could get him up to 29 knots. The thing is, it would cost 47 million. So doing those 3 is like 150 million. And no, I can't even see them anymore, but a new battle cruiser. I could get 1 new battle cruiser for that, I guess. Yeah, it's like 1 new battle cruiser with 15-inch guns and 43,000 tons. I don't think it's a good deal to modernize these guys. Could probably turn them into carriers, but I doubt that they'll be useful carriers either, as the armor is too strong for the tonnage to be used effectively. Let's see. So 47 planes. If I rebuild, it's 55 if I go down to the lowest speed possible to make more weight. It's 60. 60 isn't this bad completely. DDs I don't care. They are like complete completely expendable to me and being replaced rather often, so I don't bother naming here. I've seen others in other streams like having a pool where your followers could ask for a ship to be named after them, and I could probably do that but on the other hand, there are not that many watching right now, so I mean, I could easily name one of the new destroyers after you two guys, but then the rest would still be generic names. And with cruisers I've done the same, just using generic names, which in this regard here are just cities. And that von der Tann, the Goeben, was a former battle cruiser. Yeah, the thing is, I wouldn't name a capital ship after this, because it would like break the meta, or is meta the correct word? You know what I mean. It's better to be consistent here. But a destroyer, for instance, it would be like a small joke or gesture or something to name it after somebody, and the destroyer is rather irrelevant, which is unfortunately, which could be considered to be something like an insult, but which would be meant like this. I think you would understand, anyone would understand that it's a gesture of like showing some kind of gratitude while not breaking the whole consistency of naming. But anyways, so battle cruisers, battleships and carriers will be named after historic persons, and I'm not sure. I might name heavy cruisers as well, but I'm currently not planning to build any. The next round of buildings will be destroyers. And after that there are battleships to replace. I need to replace those 13-inch battleships, and those 3 multi-class are rather useless, becoming useless. So yeah, I think that will be the next priority. Okay, so one of them has been finished. That's good. This guy, which means we could, I think we've replaced, what was it? We replaced the guns for better ones, and probably the engine too, I'm not sure. Coal, yeah. Guns, engine, and I think additional deck armor as well. Yeah. So that is an upgrade that really makes a difference. That is another thing I need to do. The better ships need to be upgraded significantly in this time frame now. So let's just continue. Dive bombing. Dive bombing. Wait, do I have developed it, or are they close to? I think they're close to. Okay. Another ship done? No. What is this here? 1 turn left, okay. Good. Lower risk of landing accident, that's nice, but I want torpedo bombers. God damn it. Reserve. Could build a new round of destroyers, but I think I don't need them right now. What I want to do is rebuilding those guys. Increasing that here, advanced oh, I played this war without advanced directors on them. Didn't even realize that. Additional armor. How did I save that weight? Yeah. There was a heavy cruiser of the Admiral Hipper class, and it was actually called the Lucky Eugen, because it was the only major combatant in World War II that, the only German major combatant that survived the war rather mostly unharmed. It was then expended in one of the nuclear tests by the Americans, who got her as a prize, as a war prize. Yeah, right, the Americans got her. And they needed to keep some German crew on board while she served, because the high pressure engines were so complicated that they kept the German crew to run it. So for the first, initially there was still German engineering crew on board. before they, I think, was it Ulithi atoll, somewhere there. She was tied up with, I think, wasn't it one Congo class? I can't remember, with one Japanese battleship and all those nuclear tests against ships. She was expended there. Okay, so let's think, what can we do to gain 700 tons without making it slower? I mean, that would I would even need to go down to 28. I mean, I could do that and turn it into a battleship this way, but I don't think that's really worth it. So probably not adding armor right now. Thing is, adding armor takes months upon months, so replacing engine and adding armor seems to be a good choice to do at the same time. If you do something time intensive, it seems to make sense to do it all at once. This is already 8 months now, just for the guns. It's really problematic. I mean, I could do something like this, which would be stupid in general, because the engines are more likely to break down. But I don't see what I could do. I mean, I would have to reduce it basically to take out all the 4-inch dual purpose, which made the majority of my AA. That doesn't seem like a wise choice either. I could reduce the armor, reduce the secondary armor, and they are yeah, let's do this. Could make them bulge, but that would reduce it by 3 knots, which is against what I intend as well. Putting them to dual to double doesn't change it either. It's not really great. But I mean, 1 inch of additional deck armor should be worth it. Yeah, I mean, the tests against the ships were actually surprisingly ineffective with nuclear bombs. I don't have the numbers in my head, but I think like a ship that was further away than 1 kilometer easily survived. The only reason they sunk was because there was no crew on board to stop the leakage. But in a realistic scenario, in a war, where a normal fission bomb would be used against those warships, every ship outside the close circle of the detonation would survive if you consider that the crew is mostly under the hull and thus not affected that much by radiation, as it is behind metal that shields a part of it, and then the crew can stop the leakage. Okay, let's increase it. Oh, is it this? Okay, that's actually, I think I'm gonna do this. I hate reducing the heavy anti-aircraft, but having 1 inch of additional name a DD image. It's been like 8 years since I stated. Schiseboot. Well, it's yeah, it sounds more like a joke than a real word. It's not grammatically incorrect, but it means like I don't know. It would be like close to something you would see on a fair or something. A name like this. Okay, let's go back to this here. I think this is. I hate that I have to reduce the heavy AA, but it seems to be the only choice I have right now. Or I could wait with the rebuilding until I have more weight savings on the engine. That might even be a better choice. Let's just rebuild the director for now. No, we even don't have to do that. Tensions aren't that high. So let's not do anything there. That's probably the best choice. Let's see what I can do with this one though. 15 inch. We have better ones. Advanced director. No weight left though. If we go to oil, this looks like something I want to see. Okay, we can reduce to 3 inches because it's all, I mean, it's never good to reduce it too much, but yeah. How much would I need? Yeah, I can't make it faster. So that seems like a decent improvement. 80 million. So rebuilding those 3 means that I could build 1 new one. Anyways, I'm gonna do it. Because obviously we're not going to scrap Friedrich der Dritte. Running out of ammo, out of money again, because this rebuilding is so insanely expensive. Okay, corvettes are being done. We can modernize those guys now. Those were 900 tons, so clear the mounts. Give it enough of those, replace the engine to slow it down to 24. That will turn them into corvettes. And I think I'm gonna add minesweeping gear regardless, because I had quite a lot of losses through mines lately. That reduces the ASW, but I think it's needed. Okay. You guys are getting rebuilt. Yep, and everyone else here is going to be mothballed. Anything else? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, the ancient German names there are some nice combinations, even though I wouldn't share your sentiment about being aroused by a name like Siegfried Georg Friedrich or Georg Victor. Uni Alma Integral. Yeah, let's do that. Let's sell it. Floating shit in German. Schwimmende Scheiße would it be? That would be Schwimmende Scheiße. Another CV. I don't need it, but we'll exploit it a little here. Spending. We can use the Navy League. I don't need the Graf Zeppelin right now, so we're going to scrap her right away. Probably. But I don't intend to build floating shit. Communist coup. Oh, I guess we need another war against Russia. We can't have communists in our proximity, can we? Okay. Turken Louis has commissioned into the Navy. During trials, it found that the ship is easily surpassing her design speed. Now that's a good news, because with 27 knots she could have been faster anyways. That's good. Improves heavy anti-air effectiveness very nicely. Very nice. Okay, you guys are being mothballed right away. 79. Okay, what am I needing? I need new destroyers. Can I build dual purpose mounts on them? Not sure. Yeah, and I could only build 4-inch, not 5-inch, so I'm gonna stick with 5-inch definitely. I want forward superimposed double as well. I want 4 main guns. You can build 2,000 tons now. Go to speed. That would be fine. A lot of excess weight available, so we can probably add 1 centerline mount. Yes. That's too crowded now? Yeah, okay. So let's take that away and give it 2 swivel mounts. That's fine. More K-guns, also fine. No, should I give it minesweeping? Indeed. They got a revolution because they lost the war so hard, so but we can't accept communists in our proximity. That's just no way. I think we need to liberate parts of Russia from the communists as soon as we possibly can. That looks pretty decent. I wonder whether I should give it minesweeping gear, but that would reduce the ASW. So let's build one without for now. I'll probably build another class at some point to with minesweeping gear. Okay, MTB squadrons, I hardly ever do that. I don't actually build them. Now we have the G8 class. Oh, we could have named it at some point. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna honor you guys. That's gonna be the first one, and that's going to be the second one. So everyone who wants to be named just needs to show up in the stream. And the other 12 will be built like this, and we need more than those, so let's build another 6. We still have enough money, good. But yeah, they're going, I think the limit here is 2,500 tons. So it starts with 500. Some nations actually have 400 tons destroyers. But the limit the game sets is 2,500. A lot of these limits are artificial. Sometimes they have added technologies that weren't really in existence to force the player to stay somewhat historically correct. For instance, ship design. You have 3 centerline turrets as a technology, and the German, what was the class? Weissenburg class? So the first German pre-dreadnoughts had 3 centerline turrets. 3, not 2, like the rest of them, 3. But they were considered to be a bad design because the center turret had a shorter barrel length, which meant that it had to be aimed differently because the ballistics were different, and those were later then sold to the Ottoman Empire. But there is no technology preventing a nation to build several centerline turrets of the highest caliber. There is no centerline, no technology preventing it. It just wasn't done because the doctrine prevented it. So the game adds it as a technology, because if it were to be realistic in this regard, you could start building dreadnoughts right away, and that is not intended because the game wants you to build pre-dreadnoughts initially. And apart from that, that's done. Weserübung was the invasion of Norway and Denmark. And yes, the Blücher was sunk in Oslo Fjord. State visit, outstanding, yeah, budget. That would cost me budget. I mean, I don't really want war with Britain, but pro-Soviet outstanding. No, we want more budget. Secondary director on light cruisers, okay. What will I need soon? New battle cruisers, new battleships, I guess. Yeah. So after the modernization here, well, there's still a lot to do though. Anyways, we build this guy. When we've rebuilt the older battleships, we're gonna start a new series and build some new battleships and battle cruisers. Yeah. Interlocked armor plates. Italian interested in buying. Yeah, let's sell it. Money is always fine. Okay. You go into reserve fleet. You go into reserve fleet as well. And Friedrich der Dritte is going to be modernized as well. Yours wouldn't be Georg von Sigmaringen, Graf von Sigmaringen, but your name would be Graf Friedrich Karl Georg von Sigmaringen. The Graf was when nobility was abolished in 1919 that they made the title part of the last name. So since then, it's Graf von Sigmaringen as a last name. Before, when there was still nobility, it was a title. So the title would stand up in the front, and at the end you would see what your name was, unless you had several of the titles. So you would be considered to be Graf of something, unless you had several titles. And I don't think Sigmaringen had dukes. I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure, because Duke is also Herzog, and Herzog is higher than Graf. Count is Graf. Count is Graf, yes. Okay, Ludwig der Deutsche has finished. Russians want to buy technology. Well, let's sell it everything. Oh, we can now build dive bombers. Okay, but I don't really want dive bombers. I always try to keep them away. To me, I think they are only useful against destroyers, and I don't care that much about bombing destroyers. I want to sink battleships and battle cruisers and carriers, and maybe some cruisers with my planes. And for that, torpedo bombers are far more effective. Yeah, let's do an event. Okay, new medium bomber. Okay. Cruise with new cadets is planned. I could get more money for 1 prestige, and I think I'm going to do that, because money is always fine. Better invasion capability, that's good too. Now let's modernize the Wilhelm II. Is getting additional deck armor and all fired, and we even have some tonnage left, so we can increase the anti-air. Perfect, that sounds good. Well, we could reduce secondaries, but there's no need actually. I think he's just fine the way it is. Yep. Still a little surplus, but we have 100 million, so we don't really need it that much. Can we turn this into something useful again? Deck armor is still good, but rebuilding takes, as we said, a shitload of money, and it's only 21 knots. So I don't think it's worth trying to turn this into something useful again. I don't even have better guns. So I'm probably just modernizing it with advanced directors, because if I turn up to, if it ends up with me fighting the British, I will need more battleships than just the few ones I needed against the Russians, and I probably need against the French. So in that regard, I should make sure I'm not not losing too many ships, and I think they can still be of some use. But rebuilding them with additional deck armor, that would give them 5-inch, which is rather insane. If you look at, I gave them 4-inch deck armor in 1940. That was when the AI would build them with 2-inch. Yeah, but let's just modernize the fire control and the AA. That should be enough. And the Weissenburgs are now being considered completely obsolete, so I'm not going to invest into them anymore. Spy from Russia, we can, yeah, let's denounce it, because we need to liberate some Soviet territory soon. No, Barbarossa was for his red beard, so the nickname is like meaning the red bearded. Yeah. Okay, British. Excellent, yeah. Let's give me more money. Tension's low, yeah, and they immediately reduce it again. Damn Parliament. That's what you have. What you get if you have democracy. They always reduce your naval budget. Okay, they are coming fine. Stronger navy. Could either get prestige or more budget and more tension. Let's do this. More budget. Give me money. Okay. What do I need? The battle cruisers, I have 6 strong battle cruisers. I think they are more than enough, but what I don't have is a lot of battleships that are really exceptional. I have only 15-inch battleships and only 4 of them are quite modern. So it's about time I design a new battleship. Let's see, 16-inch, but only double turrets. That's a little weak, and we want 5-inch. That seems pretty excessive. Let's see, can we do that? Something like this. How high would we have to go? And I want them to be as fast as the other ones if possible, which makes it even more expensive. Let's see. How high? Well, I could do that for 50k. That's okay. That would be possible, and I have the advantage of all forward, the weight advantage of all forward armament, so I might actually do this. Forward center line, a triple turret. How about this? Oh, that looks shit. What is it here? Starboard midship wing. Or is it forward center line? Is this weight saving? Now we have 873, and we do it, if we do it 8, yep, it's weight saving. Okay, let's do this. Forward center line. Perle des Ostens. Yeah, unfortunately we have a parliament in addition to the Kaiser. I don't understand why anyone would want a parliament if we can have a Kaiser, but that's that's the situation we're facing right now. The thing is, I could leave it at 6-inch. I can't have 6-inch, and we want 4-inch. The highest torpedo defense, obviously. Could leave it at 6-inch. At some later point, I can turn those into dual-purpose guns as well. How about this? 3, and those probably also, and then go up here. 40 tons, or 449, so it's even lighter than the last one, despite being better, I think. 28 knots, that's as fast, yep, that's as fast as the Friedrich III class. So it can go in formation with those, which seems to be quite nice, and I think that ship class should be named after some more Hohenzollern, because it's the leading dynasty right now we have. Let's name it after Friedrich II. The Great. That's a very good idea. Unfortunately, I can't bombard Parliament. The game doesn't allow it, but that would help, blaming it on the Bolsheviks. So I would have my war with the Soviets, and the Parliament would be taken down. Unfortunately, German Parliament is too far away from the coast either, so I can't bombard it. But yeah, let's set up that Frederick II class, and the next ones are being done, and of course political murder in the Balkans, as usual. That will raise tensions with the Russians, I guess. Horsepower requirements, okay. No, just everyone else went up. Okay, I don't really want a war with all of them, That would be rather problematic. Yeah, let's have it. Air launch torpedoes, finally. Okay. Yes, finally. Only like a decade after the rest. Okay, active fleet in West Africa. Okay. 23 million surplus. That should allow us to build a few of them. 16 destroyers commissioned. Disarmament conference. That would actually be fun to be forced to play with that. Yeah. Oh, I should have agreed to it because I'm not building anything right now. And they would have to scrap all of the ships they built. Well, too late. Dual purpose on DDs, perfect. All I need is 5-inch dual purpose. Anything finished here? I don't think so. Oh yeah, the DDs were finished. Let's put them in mothballed right away to save money. Do I need more of them? Probably not. Those are already getting old again. Yeah. Problem is, if you listen to that video later on YouTube, I don't show the comments that were given in the chat on Twitch, so people just hear me rambling about bombarding Parliament while not seeing that you guys provoked me into all of that. That is kind of problematic. But okay. Colonial crisis with Italy. We must safeguard our interests. Yeah, we still want Sicily. Airships more reliable. Okay. Frederick the Great is ready for construction. Do we have like a significant change? Yeah, I think that bulbous bow or something was developed. So we could probably do something like this here, or at least just save it like this and have 130 tons for later use. That already would be an improvement. And it's only 1 month and a couple of thousands. So let's just overwrite it. Barely 1 million to have the better design. Italy and France, damn it, sign a treaty to contain German aggression. Not good. Okay. Now let's build her. So Frederick the Great at first. The next one will be Frederick Wilhelm of Brandenburg, the Great Kurfürst. Friedrich Wilhelm von Brandenburg. Der große Kurfürst. Is the next one? The next one will be Friedrich Wilhelm I, the father of Frederick II, and the soldier king. So the ship will be named Frederick der Soldatenkönig. Okay, we still monthly balance. How does my monthly balance hardly go down? God damn it, do I have a lot of money? More than the British? More than the Americans. I have the highest naval budget in the world. Okay, I guess Parliament hasn't worked that badly at all. No need to bombardment, they still leave me enough money. Yeah, Soldier King, Soldatenkönig. That's the same. Friedrich Wilhelm, yeah, we have enough Friedrich Wilhelms left, so Friedrich Wilhelm II, is the next one. Those are 4 now. Friedrich Wilhelm III is the next one. And we even have money for Friedrich Wilhelm IV. Now that's all of them. Perfect. 6 new battleships. Now I need to hope that there will be no naval treaty, or I am in trouble after that. Okay, and we could probably build a couple of additional destroyers. It's always good to have a couple more. Like this. Yeah. Okay. That is new? No, they're just rebuilding it. Okay. And I can reduce tension here. Intelligence, no need for that. Japanese wants to buy it, yeah, why not? Actually, we could build a few new subs. Mine lane subs, actually, why not? 16 turns, that's 40 million, I can easily afford that. Okay, let's build more of them. They do. Fuck. It's too bad I really need to add a module or something so the comments made here appear on the video. Yeah, for the viewers, that was like when I talked about bombarding Parliament. Some Erebus commented, "Breaking news: German admiral arrested on charges of high treason. Conspiracy claims voices were telling him to bombard Parliament." The BBs have higher tonnage because I designed them bigger, and the need for that was the higher speed. I wanted them to have 30 knots, and obviously the higher the speed gets, the higher the horsepower requirement is. And let me see whether I can show that here. Yeah, this one is 148,000 horsepower, and they have 108, so basically only 2/3 roughly, and they have 15-inch guns, and in between I developed 16-inch guns, so they have 1-inch additional turret, and that just required a bigger ship if I wanted 5,000 additional tons if I wanted them to be as strong as the battleships. And this ship now is possible for 28 knots for only 49,000. Because I have more modern technology, I have the advantage of having the 3 turrets up front, and I should have changed that funnel. Well, too late now. I have the advantage of the new technology of saving weight by putting all the turrets in front and so on and so forth. And every time you have developments here, like what is it? For instance, ship design, you always see 1% saving on hull. So at a later point, you will be able to build an equally powerful ship for far less tonnage. Wilhelm II has been modernized. We handle it quietly. We don't want war with France, but I think there won't be a way to avoid that. I should probably start building some air bases. And I could probably start scrapping the airship bases. Now we build Wilhelmshaven, Emden, and Kiel. We also want naval bases. Other major, at least your navy is espionage proof. Other major powers leak that theirs are cutting edge ship named Frederick Wilhelm. They'll ask which one. Yeah. It'll be a hard time identifying the ship. On the other hand, they're all of the same class. So the Italians build new heavy cruisers. 7-inch guns only, okay. 11,000 tons. The armor is really weak. but apart from that, not that bad of a design. Okay, now finally my torpedo bombers. So I need to check. This means, as far as I know, heavy. So the heavy range is decisive, which means this one is the furthest range. It's slower than that one, and the cruise speed is lower. Okay. Maneuverability is lower. Yeah, I think for 3 kilometers, or is it miles? I don't know. That's barely a difference, but it's faster, so it'll reach the target more easily, and higher maneuverability might allow to dodge something or to line up a drop better. So I'm going to choose this one. Okay, now it's also time. Now we need to start modernizing everything in earnest. We are going to go for firepower and speed in the fighter, because now this time we will build ships. We will use carriers in this war. The Kaiser wants even more battleships. He wants 3 additional battleships. Okay. Well, if my Kaiser commands, I guess. Now that's going to be complicated. Do I even need more of them? I'll have 4 here. Those 4 are really modern. And I'll have another 6 coming up soon. So I'll have 10 battleships that are modern. I also have 6 modern battle cruisers. What could I need? Yeah, I thought about that initially, giving them names of the ancient German kings as well, German kings and emperors, and a lot of them were obviously Habsburger. So, and in this game you don't fight Habsburg, you don't fight the Austrian Empire if you play anyone, I think, but Italy. So they are in the game, but while playing Germany, that's not going to be, they are not going to be an opponent of mine. So 3 additional battleships. What the hell am I supposed to do? Either more battleships or more battle cruisers. What could I use? Guess I could use some more battle cruisers. Or more battleships. 10? Let's see, if I use this design as a basis, I already have 220 tons on top. Could I make it faster? No. I could add more secondaries. That would be possible. But do I really need more? I don't think I need more battleships. But who am I to tell the Kaiser that he doesn't get his new battleships? So it's funny if you see that in the end I'll have 50 against their 18 and I still have the same tonnage. And you see the difference. Oh, look at this here, Italy 6. That's insane. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna build 3 additional ones of this design. Who are we going to name them after? I don't know. We are not going to name them after emperors because we have a lot of leaders that deserve a ship to be named after them. So we are going to name it. This class will be this will be the Gerhard Johann David von Scharnhorst. So this will be the Scharnhorst class, the new one. 16. One here. Can I? No, I can't increase this. Advanced director. All of this seems fine. Yeah. Only 1 month, and then we are going to build. And now suddenly they have less money. Why? Budget, prestige, tension. Yeah. Should we allow them to take care of the poor? Wittelsbacher is the dynasty. Hey, Gerald Gray Halo, thanks for the follow. We allow them to take care of the poor a little. And now let's build the Scharnhorst. And we are going to name the next one after his partner in crime, obviously. August Neidhart Graf von Gneisenau. And the third one will be named after a Wittelsbacher who deserved that honor. No, let's actually name him after someone else. Ruprecht von Bayern. I want to name a ship after that guy. He was the crown prince and marshal in the First World War. Was a great military leader, and actually when he died in 1954, I think, so after the Second World War, Bavaria, despite no longer being a monarchy for several decades and having the Nazi Germany in between, Bavaria granted him a state funeral with royal ceremony. And I think somebody where the democratic Germany, even the democratic Germany, at this time considered him to be worth of full military and royal honors. Somebody like that deserves to have a ship named after him. And actually, yeah, that is more than enough to not name the ship Derflinger, but rather not talk about honoring him, but make sure he's actually being honored. Ruprecht von Bayern. Kronprinz, let's call it. No, he wasn't crown prince. In this matter, he would probably now be king. So let's just make it Ruprecht von Bayern. Perfect. Der Löwe von Afrika, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck. Yeah. He is more controversial nowadays, as obviously in the current times he's judged in a different light for the suffering he caused among the natives as well, and so on and so forth. So he's far more controversial in that regard, even though his military leadership is undisputed among former enemies without any doubt. But he would be considered to be more controversial. Spy from France. Do we want war with France right now? Probably not. Thing is, I don't see any chance to even finish them, because there will be war in between and the money will run out. And then I'll have those ships having stopped them for years, which means after that they will be completely obsolete, or I would be able to build them significantly better for the same price. So it's actually not that a great idea, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay, let's increase that even further. Anti-German rebellion in Sakhalin. God damn it. France is doing it. Okay, so the French want war. Increased hit of chances of hitting, and the war with French is basically here. So I guess, what are we doing? Air groups. Yeah, and I need new carriers as well. Torpedo. Why only 3? Huh? Add air unit. I can't give it torpedo power? What's wrong here? No idea. It's disbanded, maybe it's working later, and there's no point in wasting the money on maintenance at this time. Okay. France clandestine arrest rebels is minus. This means war. This means war, and this means loss of prestige, but war is about to break out anyway, so I can now look for what's best. Either more prestige or less rebels. Less rebels is probably better, as I want to keep Sakhalin. Yeah, I mean, naming any ship after Friedrich Barbarossa is somewhat ironic to name it after somebody who drowned, you're right. Okay, so let's go and arrest some of their citizens. New fighter, yeah, whatever. And there is war. And Italy, war with Italy as well. Decline, because our carriers are not, yeah, we're actually an active fleet, wasting money. Okay, so we have war with Italy and France, which means all of our Mediterranean possessions are now in grave danger of being conquered, because I won't be able to send enough ships down there until I've crushed the French fleet decisively, because I want to keep them under blockade at the same time, which is going to be kind of tough. So we'll have to see. But I think this is about the perfect moment to stop the stream for now, to have a very nice cliffhanger to see how the war against Italy and France, I think the second war against them, yeah, we already had one against them, how this one turns out. And so far what we are building here is quite insane. As said, I'm afraid I'll have to stop producing the majority, and thanks for the follow, Erebus. So I guess I'll have to stop the majority of them in production, at least. Yeah, now they are stopping. Okay, I guess because war broke out, the build requirements don't have to be fulfilled anymore. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna stop them right away. They haven't cost that much yet, and I will probably scrap them later, but rename the new ships after those three again, because I won't be able to finish them within 2 or 3 years at least, and then at that point I will be able to build better ships for the same money. Okay, so back to the topic. I think we are set up pretty well. We have a lot of ASW ships. Our submarines fleet was rather ineffective lately, but it's worth trying to use them again. Mine-laying submarines coming online, 20 of them. New modern destroyers, I mean not dual purpose yet, but quite powerful. The cruisers are still modern enough. The battleships, battle cruisers, a lot of them have been modernized with additional deck armor, better guns, and new fire control. I think we're set up pretty well, so we can look forward to the next episode, how this war plays out. So if you enjoyed this one, please consider following and subscribing. I will stream this one as any other episode, or at least almost every other episode, on Twitch. So if you want to enjoy the possibility of communicating and reading what is actually happening, and see that I'm not just rambling about bombarding a parliament without being provoked to it. And if you want the chance to have a tiny destroyer named after you as well, please come over to Twitch and watch. I'm gonna stream other games there as well occasionally, so I hope it would be quite enjoyable there. Anyways, thank you for watching. As again, if you enjoyed, please consider following and subscribing. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Goodbye.